Is it worth it? Let me work it. My thing down, flip it over. Ooh, you like it this smoke?
We can't put that on YouTube. Hey, can you shut that thing off? This is a cam bearing driver, and I'm about to use it to take those cam bearings out. Ready? Go! All right, everybody. This is one thing I do on like a sloppy build like this, because your lifters have probably seen some things if you're using a high mileage engine. And buying aftermarket lifters is a crapshoot these days. They're all usually Chinese and junk. So what I like to do is take the factory lifters, because they're actually really good. They just get a bunch of sludge on the inside and kind of block the oil passages, and that's what makes them collapse. The oil can't get inside them. So what I like to do is pop this little spring clip out of here. All it is this little square spring clip, and then you can knock the, don't let it fly away because it wants to, and then you can pop the little cup, and then there's a little flat disc behind the cup. Take those out, and you'll see there's like a ton of sludgy, nasty stuff on the inside of the lifter. So then I'll just let them soak in my parts washer for a couple hours, or maybe a day if you have more time. And then I'll come back to them and scrub them up a little bit. Obviously you want to kind of look at your roller too and make sure there's not a bunch of, you know, scuffs, or it doesn't look like it turned sideways at all and scraped a flat spot into it or anything like that. We have a belt sander belt that we cut up, and you can see the deck surface looks like balls. I already tested this on the other side. It works amazing. Deck surface looks terrible. This deck surface looks great. There's still kind of a low spot there. I might go over it a couple more times, but this works awesome. Tom had a surface plate that's heavier than balls, but still small enough where you can pick it up. And if you don't know what a surface plate is, it's used for like precision applications where you need an exactly flat surface to work from. So that top side of this surface plate is perfectly flat, and we're gonna set this piece of belt sander paper on the deck surface, and then we're gonna put that flat, the flat side of this down on top of the sandpaper, and we're just gonna work it back and forth by hand, back and forth. Oh, this thing also weighs like 75 pounds or more. Okay, so set it on the paper so you know your paper's flat. Then I just folded the ends up. It's gonna have some friction, so you're gonna need to hold on to your engine stand with your feet probably, and just work it back and forth, baby. Is it worth it? Let me work it. My thing down, flip it over, reverse it. Or whatever she says. Shout out Missy Elliott. If you're too young to know who Missy Elliott is, I'm sorry. You probably aren't watching this video anyways. If you're too old to know who Missy Elliott is, I'm glad you're here. Obviously not like a surface that looks like it's been completely redecked, but compared to the rest of the engine, it looks pretty damn nice, huh? 10 out of 10 would do that method again. All right, guys, I lost some footage, but to get you up to speed here, I got all the pistons and rods in the holes. Oh, look how nice those look. Tom used his nice parse wash. It is literally so hot, like I don't even know what I'm saying. I might be stroking out. Anyways, he used his parts washer and cleaned my pistons and rods up real nice. This is what he uses in his parts washer. This stuff is amazing. Let it sit in there for like 24 hours and they come out looking like brand new. He gave me a little bit of his leftover stuff and I threw these rockers in there overnight and look at them. They're like brand new. It's wild. But we got the whole rotating assembly in there and cam, obviously timing set. That's actually a used oil pump I had laying around. We got all those lifters cleaned up and they've been soaking in oil overnight. They look pretty nice. Ready for another 280,000 miles. And I'll show you kind of what else we got going on. We got a little problem here. I was hoping that we could use these springs, but it's looking like that's not going to be the case. A buddy of mine had bought 3 sets of these because he thought that they would work in this application. And it seems as though that Lunati is going out of business. I don't know. Everything on their website is 50% off or more. And I couldn't find any more camshafts on there. I actually bought one while they were still 50% off, but now there's no cams on their website. So RIP Lunati. But these, I didn't know the dimensions of them. So they ain't gonna jive with a factory LS situation here. Not only is the big end too large to fit, the diameter is way too big, but they're way too tall. So that kind of sucks, but I think to save money and time, I am going to use the heads off of the blown up what we called was the old reliable block. They are 100% factory valves, everything. No port work, nothing crazy like that. They're just factory 862 casting heads, but they have some Howard's dual springs in them, some 660 lift springs in them, and some nice retainers. Otherwise, they are 100% factory. So if I was going to do this the sloppy way, these would just be pack springs. Everything else would be the same. I would have used factory retainers on the pack springs and sent it. But for the sake of time and my sanity, we're just going to throw these heads back on. That shouldn't affect our results. The other thing I bought is this set of ETR stock replacement chromoly push rods. They are not recommended for anything more than a mild cam, so I consider a sloppy stage 2 a mild cam. They're definitely stronger than stock, so with these you can find them on Summit for like $39.99. I got these on Amazon for $49.99. I didn't do my research first. I just said screw it and hit the buy it button, but I did see them on Summit for $39.99, but we're gonna call it $50 because I bought them on Amazon, and at Summit you have to pay shipping if you don't spend $100. So we'll call it $50. I did have one set of Velcro factory replacement head bolts, and that's what we're gonna use. We're gonna use head bolts, none of that stud crap. So I only had enough for one head, so I bought a second set today, and they were $35. So we'll call it $70. That's cheaper than buying a set of Chinese head studs. Although I do really like the Speedmaster head studs. The Speedmaster company itself, kind of shady, but Speedmaster head studs work really well. I've used them in multiple, even my good motors, I use them and never had a problem. But yeah, these, if I was gonna use these, I would have just cleaned them up, probably pressure washed them, and did the same thing we did to the deck surface with these. And then did like a sloppy valve job, which is like, I would just take these. Oh my God, look at that. That's disgusting. I would have taken these out, hit them with a wire wheel on the backside, and then used some valve lapping compound. And if you use a piece of vacuum hose on the end of the, you know what, I'm just going to show you how I would do one, just so you know. All right, so you can get this at your local parts store. It's just valve grinding compound. It's just like really gritty lube. Don't use it for other stuff. We'll leave it at that. Anyways, I would just put a couple dots kind of where the seat would sit on the valve, and then shove it back in the hole. And if you don't know this trick, it's kind of an old one. You can use a piece of, in this case, this is some fuel line. But if you find a piece of fuel line that fits on the end, the stem of your valve, you can slip this over the stem of the valve. Then you can chuck the other end in your drill, and you can spin it, and it's so much faster than hand lapping it with like a suction cup. So I'm gonna set that up, and then I'll show you what it looks like set up, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. All right, so it's 1/4 inch hose. It fits really good, nice and snug over the end of the valve. And then you just give her some twirlies. And then I like to spin it backwards too. All right, then you're gonna take the valve back out and wipe all the compound off of it, and you'll see this nice, beautiful spot where you resurface the valve. That'll just help it seal much better. The seat will match as well. Shit works. Sloppy as hell, but it works. All right, now we're gonna put the Chinese head gaskets on. Put the heads on, torque them down. No, we're not. We have to put the lifters in first. Put the lifters in first. Don't forget that, because that would be bad. Lifters first, then the heads. Lifters first. Hold on a second. All right, one thing I do very much dislike about LS engines are these stupid plastic lifter trays. So the purpose of these is the lifter has 2 flat spots in it on each side. And this tray keeps the lifter from spinning this way on the cam. So it keeps it straight so the roller stays straight. But these things are just cheap plastic pieces of shit. And I don't like it. That's one of the reasons I went to solid roller, because then you can use your link bar lifters. You don't have to worry about those stupid plastic things. But yeah, for the sake of the sloppiness, we're doing it with factory shit. It does work. If you can reuse the factory ones, they are usually much better than any aftermarket ones. I bought aftermarket ones. They're cheaper and like cheaply made pieces of shit, even worse than the factory ones. They're pieces of shit. So clean these up, reuse them. So we're gonna slam it together. Click, click. Click, click. Click, click. Click, click. All right, now we're finally ready for the heads. Like I said, don't forget to put your lifters in. Don't do it. These look like BTR head gaskets. I'm not saying they're the same, but damn do they look similar. I like to just give the thread just a little light squirt of engine oil. All right, I do have an angle torque wrench, but I'm gonna do this the extra sloppy way and show you that you can do it without one. You just need to get some stretch on the bolt. Like, torque to yield stuff isn't that crazy. I'll show you. All right, so what I like to do, if you don't have access to an angle torque wrench, so the torque specs on these are torque them to 22 foot-pounds, then 90 degrees, then 90 degrees. So I like to make a line on them, straight up and down, and then I'll torque them all to 90 degrees. And you go back, torque them to 90 degrees again. So when you're all done, this line should be straight up and down again. For your first torque, obviously it's really easy to put your torque wrench angle this way and know that this is 90 degrees. You don't need an angle torque wrench to figure that out. 90, 90. So that's the gist of it. The little ones are supposed to be torqued 50 degrees, so just guess. I don't know. It's fucking, here's 45, go a little bit further. Not that hard. You also have to do those twice, so 45, a little bit further, 45, a little bit further. So it'll almost be just, those ones don't even matter. Just do what you gotta do. All right, guys, the bugs out here are insane, so I just had to quick get the valley cover on here because they were all flying into the engine, and I don't really want that. So, got all the rockers on, and that is another thing I love about the factory stuff is you don't have to lash anything. You just torque them motherfuckers down, and you're ready to go. So, throwing the valve covers on. This spacer is for my 1.8 rockers to clear them, but I don't know where my factory valve cover bolts are, so I need to use the longer ones, so I had to keep the spacer in there. You don't need the spacer. There's no reason for the spacer other than I don't know where my other bolts are, so that's why that is the way that it is. All right, we're gonna take this pickup, we're gonna cut it like here, extend it like an inch or inch and a half maybe so that the pickup sits back even further in the pan. And then we'll modify that baffle. So, yeah, dude, let's go. All right, this beauty's not going to win us any awards at the PRI show, but it's definitely going to do us a solid with some oil pressure now. Extended it 2 inches. This piece of tube slipped inside these tubes just a little bit, so that when I was welding it, I didn't have to worry about welding wire getting inside the tube. Yeah, so then I had to modify the pan baffle, I guess you call it. This is really not a baffle, it's just a plate. I just had to modify that hole a hair, and then I beat this part down a little bit so the tube fit a little better. And yeah, so now I'm gonna button it all up, and then I think it's just lack of sleep that's getting to me, so I might not do much more tonight. Get the pan on, get the rear cover on, get the front cover on, and get it ready to shove it in tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be bright-eyed, bright-tailed, and bushy-eyed, or whatever. Tail-brighted. Sure. All right. Skipped a few steps because I didn't want to bore you guys with me putting this back in again. So it's all back together. And I fired it up. It runs pretty good. It definitely doesn't sound as good as the other 2 motors that have been in it, but it'll get the job done for now until we get the aluminum block back. By the way, the aluminum block is at the machine shop, so we should have that back shortly. But in the meantime, we're going to play around with this stock bottom end and see what we can do with it. It's raining today. Weird, I know. It's always raining in my videos. But when it stops raining, we're going to go make some street hits and do some street testing. Well, guys, it's gonna probably have to be the next video where we do some street testing. Unfortunately, I have to do some traveling again, so stay tuned. Next video we'll be doing some street hits, maybe even go to the track. So all right, guys, if you made it this far in the video, I appreciate it. If you could hit that subscribe button, I would greatly appreciate it. So the rest of this footage is from our car club meeting. We do this every first Wednesday of the month. We've been doing it for the last 3 years. We all meet up. We drive our cars if we can, and we just have a good time. Sometimes shenanigans happen. This time there was some street racing and some burnouts. We usually cook out, drink a little beer. So I want to motivate some people to get their cars out, drive them, build a car, hang out with your buddies, get your buddies together. It's a lot of fun. That's what it's all about. So thank you for watching. This is my 57 Chevy. That's my dog Gunner Boy. And we've mentioned this car in some previous videos. But look at my good boy. Look at him just hanging out. He's such a good boy. Anyways, this is my 57. It's been mentioned before. I could do a full video on it if you want. Just drop a comment below. But yeah, stay tuned for the rest of the video. There's some chaos. There's some street racing. probably won't have much context, but it's funny to watch. So thanks. Love you. Bye.
That's black. That's black.
All right, this is Brandon Baumkamp's 1957 Ford F100.
It's an old, I think, 64 390 iron-headed C8 heads I ported. Just aluminum intake, and then had the heads milled down 40 thousandths, get a little more compression out of it.
And then
Otherwise, it's all junkyard parts inside.
cam.
Yep, cam. Just solid flat tappet, face plated, top loader with a V-gate shifter on it.
Yeah, what clutch?
It has a centered iron disc ram in it. Slipper clutch, that's a pain in my ass.
This thing survived 6 summer. What was your biggest gripe?
Mostly the body.
The body?
Yeah, the window broke, then the door latch broke.
Oh, yeah. Wow, your biggest problem at 6 summer was my door wouldn't close. I remember that now. Okay, so you did all the fab work yourself, including the tilt front end.
Yep.
And everything underneath. I got some footage of earlier. Anything specific you want to touch on?
Someday it'll be supercharged, hopefully.
Yeah. Next project's putting a blower on this thing.
I'm gathering parts for that.
That's gonna be pretty sweet. So
Should be pretty good.
stay tuned for that, and we'll update you. But it's got a 9-inch in it.
Yep. 9-inch, 456 gears.
456.
Ladder bar, quarter elliptical rear spring. Elliptical spring cut in half. So then it's just mounted solid to the frame, goes to a shackle to the rear end, and then it all eliminates the need for a pan hard bar or anything like that. And then you don't have to run axle floaters on a normal leaf spring.
What's your goal for next year at 6 summer?
Ride with Tom.
Fuck that guy. What's your goal, Mike?
I just need to finish my car. I need it to drive, so I don't have to walk the whole time. Explain the back of the box.
Why it's different color?
Yeah. Why is it cut off?
Why'd they cut it off? I have no idea. I bought it and it had no rear quarters on it.
Did you cover how it came to you?
Oh, I did not. So my dad 30 years ago found this truck at his cousin's junkyard, and he tried to buy it and he wouldn't sell it. And so then my cousin got really sick, and another guy went in there and started selling everything off for like hospital bills and shit. So I went in there and I bought it, unknowing this is the one that my dad wanted. And then
Hey, can you shut that thing off?
Too lazy to roll the tires over there. What?
All right. Anyways,
where were we?
4-wheeler. We're rudely interrupted by this Cadillac guy.
Where was I? I don't remember.
Something about
How you got it from the junkyard.
Oh,
yeah, one of the
Yeah,
guys.
so the guy was starting to sell shit off, and I bought it, not knowing it's the one Dad wanted. So then I brought it home and it sat for 4 years before I worked on it, I think. Had a 430 Buick in it.
Dang.
Turbo 400. And it was a mess.
It's pretty damn sweet now. It's really sweet.
It's a lot of work.
It's cool as hell.
I assume you had some kind of rack on here at one point.
That's my toolboxes for 6
For 6 week, he puts
you want it to go real fast, you can put a wing on here, right?
2 toolboxes
Drag
in here.
wings, but you got the 2 holes, it'd be perfect. Just,
Sweet truck, man.
oh, dude.
No, you tell me. It's your truck. Alright. For real, if you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you. If you could leave a comment below about how weird this video was and how it didn't flow, that'd be great. Any feedback is good feedback to me, even if it's talking shit. So, thanks again. Like I said, the videos are only going to get better from here. We're having fun with it. The Fox is back, so we're going to start making some more of that content. And let me know what you want to see. Throw it in the comments below. I'm getting some better equipment slowly, so it's only going to get better, like I said. Thanks, love you, bye.